Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 3G Theater, where the magic of the silver screen meets the charm of Fallout. Broadcasting to you from the heart of Charleston, we're here to take you on a delightful journey. Now let's meet our host.
What's going on, everybody? And I am back. Yes, we got the PC back. I am a long way from done setting this thing up because it came back completely wiped. But all that aside, I'm back. And I know some of you. I know some of you were hoping that I wasn't going to be back. But I am resilient as your mother's last bout with herpes. Resilient as fuck. So here we are. Now, with the top five. So the top five, we're going to have to say goodbye. As we know it, as it was intended, it's completely changed now. With this new build system, it has to get a complete revamp to the point where literally the only thing that's going to survive is the name. And I'm going to explain why real quick. So before, 80 to 90% of your camp was based on your skills, knowledge, and trickery on how to manipulate the game to get it to actually do the things that you wanted it to do. And we're completely flipping the script on this, okay? The way that they've done it, they've opened up this freedom for people to build. Okay, it kind of, but I'll get into that. They've opened up this freedom where it's going to be more creative based. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's going to open up the door for a lot of people who didn't have the time to take a college level course in how to merge crap and start a new religion on, camp building and Fallout. It's a lot of effort and dedication and years spent trying to hone our skills to be able to do this stuff. And you're not going to need most of it. Now, don't think for a minute that means that you're not going to be merging. Oh, no, sir. Because Bethesda, being the lazy cucks that they are, what they've done is they've taken the build system that was locked behind a paywall called Custom World, and they have pushed that into the live server. Now, one of the things that they did really screw up on, and why they have not addressed this, I have no idea. But let's pretend that your character is standing in the middle of a room. You have a dresser in front of you, and you want to place something behind the dresser. You can't do that anymore, not even if you go into free cam. And I'm really hoping that they fix this. But even if you go into free cam and go behind that dresser, your character has to have line of sight to the object that you're trying to place. Otherwise, it will not place. And yeah, that is a huge ball drop. It's a pain in the freaking ass. And then the other thing that you will need, you're still going to need to know how to, drop merge, up merge with camp modules, some things like that. Because interactable objects like a chair or a workbench, if you try to merge it into something else, it says that your furniture entry is blocked. Why they didn't shut that off, I don't know. And I understand that Bethesda's thinking, well, we want to make sure that the workbenches and crap work. Guys, look, we're camp builders, okay? We'll figure it out. Just take the restrictions off. If we're going to go unrestricted, that means taking all the restrictions off, okay? So hopefully, by the time that you guys see this, it has went live and that's no longer an issue or anything like that. That would be fantastic. Now, the positive side of this is that we are going to see some amazing crap out there. Holy cow. This opens up the opportunity for so many different things that we've struggled to do before. It's going to be epic, guys. You're going to see some crap out there that is just completely mind-bending. And I can't wait to be able to see some of the stuff that you guys produce. It's going to be freaking awesome. But we do have to say goodbye to the top five as we know it. It has to get a complete revamp. And, just to accommodate the new judging and everything that we're going to have to do. So, crank up your volume. Here, I present the most epic intro to the top five. let's get into this. So first off, we're gonna oh fuck, words are hard. Shit. We're gonna take a look at custom worlds and vaults. Okay, you see that? I figured it out. I used words. So blow it up, Baza. Man, I'm shocked at some of the stuff that you've pulled off. I love this freighter build. You've got your cargo container right here in the center of it. This really, really does give a convincing kind of barge look, you know? And I want you to think about this, guys, because when you start building in water, on water, anything like that, it can be a freaking nightmare. When you're doing ship hulls, you don't want just this rectangular shape and say, yeah, that's a ship. So you've got to have your walls at different angles and everything to create the shape and the structure of that ship. It's going to be so much easier in the future. You know, now with the new building system, things like this are actually going to be a heck of a lot easier. And I can't wait to see the crap that you guys end up coming up with. Some of you guys are the most creative people that I've seen. And I love that aspect. I mean, we've got people that are popping out of the woodwork, like Dead Guy Crafts. I had never heard of that guy before. And there's several others like him that I don't know who these people are from the Man on the Moon, you know? And then I'll get a submission in there and you're watching it and you're like, holy shit, man, this is really, really good. Where the hell did this person come from? And I love that aspect of it. There's a lot of new names that you see in my contests and stuff like that. And it's because, well, I don't vote for just my friends, okay? That's not how it works. I love discovering new people, you know, and getting new people involved, because a lot of times they're going to have ideas that you've never seen before. Blow It Up Baza, very well done, by the way. You can see that there's none of these boxes or anything are floating. They are kind of staggered forward and backward, just so it doesn't look like this perfect row of stacked boxes. But I didn't see a bunch of crap floating or anything like that. It's very well put together, nice quality. And just so you guys know, there's going to be some comments and stuff like that that are popping up on the screen. And that's so we can take a little trip down memory lane, or people can say something that, you know, they wanted to bring up as part of their memory for the top 5, things like that. Because obviously, I wasn't the one who started the top 5. I am just somebody who was chosen as a host because I've done a ton of camp contests. So Zombie76, aka Gappers, a nice young lady. Look at the window scenes here, okay? They are packed full of stuff. It is a bunch of different random stuff, so it would appear. And it's going to make a lot more sense here in a second when we go inside. But the scenes that you've created through those windows is beautifully done. I really, really like that. So this is their shop. And, you know, this is a great way to display the items that you've collected over the years. Now, I know several people that have vaults that's what they've done. They take their rare items, or air quotes, no items that maybe you shouldn't have, but you do, and they display them in some sort of form or fashion in a vault. And creating a store as your theme to do that, it's a great idea, obviously. It looks beautiful. Very well done, though. You don't see a bunch of floating stuff or anything. And remember, this isn't a vault, so it is easier to use the build mechanics. Like the countertops up there across that upper facade, you know, you can just float those in a vault. It's really, really nice. So there's not a lot of trickery going on there or anything, but it's just well done. And one of the things I will miss as we go down memory lane is looking at a scene. Because, you know, when you're trying to judge these things, you're dissecting the whole process of, like, how could I recreate that? in order to determine, what kind of techniques that they've used and things of that nature to create that scene. And a lot of it's going to be really, really hard to figure out now, especially it being a new system. We don't know what all the tricks are and stuff that are going to come about. For the most part, you're going to need to know your drop merging, up merging, and that's still going to be something that you're going to need, because interactable objects like, let's say, a chair or a workbench, if you try to merge that into something else, it is going to say, hey, my furniture entry is blocked. And I wish that Bethesda would have just shut that crap off. And I'm sure that their excuse is, well, we want to make sure that those benches work. Dudes, trust us. We are camp builders. We have done crap that you guys never thought were possible in this game, okay? If you're going to take the restrictions away, take them all away. Get rid of that crap. Lana the Cat. Fantastic build. I have seen this one before, and if you have not seen this, you are in for a special treat. So way back in the day, there was a common technique. It became common, but it was using multiple camps in the same location to tell your story. So you can take a robot like this and then transform it into a ship or whatever that you wanted to do with it. And the first time that I came across one of these camps that were set up like this in game, it was mind-blowing. It seems so obvious to us all now, but just drop another camp there and you can just camp swap. But back in the day, before that was really a thing, the first time that you walked up and you seen somebody doing that, you thought that they were a freaking wizard. Because you guys got to remember that I started playing Fallout when it was just Fallout. Yeah, I'm that old. Yeah, I know. I'm in my 40s, okay? Look at how well that swapped, though. And now you've got a cool-looking ship. But, yeah, back in the day, man, this was mind-bending stuff, Now, it still is, okay, to an extent. But I want you to look at how angular. You see how angular the ship is? And they've done a fantastic job, okay? Don't think I'm talking crap, because they have done a fantastic job with this ship. But if you look at how angular that thing is, guys, I want you to imagine all the machines that have smooth, curved edges, things of that nature that we have. I guarantee that people are going to be merging those items to create smoother shapes. So you won't have such angular structures, things like that. I can't wait to see, somebody do an aircraft or something like that, because I guarantee it is going to be just so above and beyond any of the other stuff that we've seen before. This really is a very freeing thing that they've done for us by unlocking the build system from the paywall. I'll tell you what, it was mighty nice of them, I appreciate you taking that building system that was locked behind the paywall and then giving it to everybody. If we're being honest, the people who are still supporting this game and stuff like that, it's not the PvPers, it's not people just running the missions, it's the camp building community. And you can tell because go look at the Atom Shop. Open it up. Do you see anything in there for PvP or crap that's going to help you with your missions? Absolutely not. They're selling us stuff for us camp builders. And, we do keep the game alive, especially one that's aged at this point, But we all love Fallout. Now, Goldfinger. Extremely disappointing builder. No talent, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm totally kidding. You guys, look at this. Look at that. That speaks for itself. Look at the structure of the bow and everything. Those walls aren't parallel with each other. They're at angles. Everything had to be meticulously placed. I believe that the decking surface are alien benches. Don't quote me, but I'm fairly sure that that's what it was. think about what a pain in the butt it is to float all of those things at the exact same height, to get everything lined up. Life is going to be so much easier with the new build system. Imagine trying to recreate this with the new build system. It's going to be relatively easy. And that's a good thing, okay? It's fantastic that people like Goldfinger and stuff like that have had the dedication and spent the hours upon hours to create things like that for us to see and to inspire us. But with the new build system and everything, the exterior of this boat would have been 10 times freaking easier. You know, I question if Goldfinger had any hair left after doing this build, because she probably pulled most of it out. You know, it's crazy. This was an insane amount of time and effort, and it's beautifully done. And even in the vault, which obviously we're in the vault, this is the simulated interior of this submarine, and it's beautiful. You know, it's narrow, just like a submarine would be. It's packed in there, but it does have that ambiance and feel that, hey, this is a really confined area, and it is packed, but not overly packed. Very well done, and that's what my grandpa did. He was one of the cooks on a submarine back in World War II. And that terrifies me, being under the water that deep, being trapped in a little air bubble like that. Yeah, no, it's not for me. I've got no problem climbing 300 feet in the air on a greasy I-beam in the middle of winter or something like that. I'm totally okay with that, but I don't know if I could handle the whole underwater thing. Very well done. I love seeing Goldfinger stuff. Hexapotent. This is another one. Oh, and what a terrible person. I mean, she was extremely rude to everybody. And I'm kidding again, because she's one of the nicest people I've met. She says, I joined and was only intermediate. And now, because of the top 5 and the kind words and criticism from 3G and the judges, I'm a lot more confident in my building, and I enjoy Fallout 76 a lot more. Thank you for letting me have the opportunity to show off my creativity. Thank you. Don't thank me or anybody else. I mean, the judges are sometimes just random. And yeah, I'm just a media outlet. I'm a camp whore. I love seeing stuff like this, and I love sharing the inspiration. That's really why I do it. I love getting inspiration from others and then sharing other people's builds. That way it inspires people. It gives them ideas, which is hilarious, because some people, they really get upset that, oh, well, that was my idea. It's okay, well, calm down, all right? You know, just calm down. This is a video game, and somebody took your idea and made it their own, and they reused it. You should be happy about that. You should feel proud that, hey, somebody thought that my idea was good enough to go reuse. And yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Impersonation is the #1 form of flattery. Just ask some of my haters. So Hexapotent, I do want to go over a little showcase. So occasionally I like to pick people in the group and stuff like that and highlight some of the things that they've got going on. And I haven't done that in a minute because I've been busy with the top 5, and then my PC took a crap, and now I got my PC back, but it came back wiped. So I have to start over. I had hundreds of hours worth of work setting that thing up and getting everything going, and I got to do it all again. So, but at some point I do want to do a creator showcase. I want to take some Akashi stuff. I want to take some Hexapotent. Hexapotent runs a trader group also, guys. So that is something that you definitely want to get involved in with her if you're into that sort of thing. She does giveaways. I may be promoting some of her content here in the future if she's willing and stuff like that. But it's very, very creative young lady and very meticulous when it comes to decorating her scenes. And then Vib Val. Those darn Europeans sneaking into my Discord and submitting things, and I'm kidding. She's a sweetheart. Vib has just recently got into YouTube, and she's been doing some playthroughs, doing some daily challenges with her character and stuff like that, just to get a feel for it and to see how things go. And she is a relatively new builder. She decided she wanted to take on a vault, which is insane. Okay, you have to have something wrong with you mentally if you want to take on a vault in this aspect, because when you get a big sprawling area like this, and Vib, you did a really great job laying out all the buildings, creating the ambiance that, hey, this is a military installation. Very well done with that. But when you get into doing stuff like this on this kind of scale, you're still limited with the budget. It's like, yes, even though we have a massive amount of budget compared to adventure mode, it is still just so hard. CVFD721. I wanted to say thank you to Vib for getting me to submit a few of my builds. I've spent hours upon hours working on some of them, but I didn't really think that they stacked up to some of the crazy builds with insanely detailed and beautiful builds. Thankfully, Vib told me about how nice my builds were and gave me the confidence to submit them, even if it was only for a couple of contests. Well, my friend, the good news is we're not done. We are definitely not done. We are still going to be doing the contests and everything. CVFD, he's another one that kind of blew my mind, kind of like Dead Guy Crafts, just a rando that came in. I hadn't met them or anything like that, and then I'm watching their content and I'm like, wow, this is freaking amazing. And I love seeing that stuff. Okay, this isn't a popularity contest. I'm not over here struggling for self-validation, trying to promote my crap just ridiculous amounts all over social media. I do this because I like seeing new build styles, new people. You know, there's a theory that, you know who the best band is in the world? We don't know, because they never made it out of the garage. And that's where a lot of builders have that same problem. I have noticed in the past where there has been some people that, you know, they lean more toward on their friends and stuff like that, picking them to be in it. And, you know, that hasn't been for a while, but it was a thing at one time with the top 5. And I love seeing the new names. I love getting those randos come in here and it's like, holy shit, man, where'd you come from? This is freaking amazing. And I love being able to get their stuff out there. Like Matari, I cannot remember how I met Matari, but she is a very nice lady. It's pretty amazing to see how she navigates through life. She does have a hearing disability, and we found some stuff. We have an app in our Discord, and it helps her communicate with us. It translates what we're saying into words. That way she can read what we're saying, and she can communicate back too. So very cool that she's still out there getting involved with the people. And she is a relatively new builder. She has not been doing this for just years upon years. And, you know, this vault that she attempted, it was a really, really good showing. So one of the things, like where this vault is at, what you're not seeing is her actual camp. And this scene's really, really good. She did a very good job on this. On the exterior of this camp, though, she's got a beautiful sitting area on the patio with a fountain and everything. She's got some serious skills, and this was kind of her experimenting with the vault and the building system. So she's got a long way to go in that aspect, and I cannot wait to see what the heck she comes up with, because some of her camps that I've seen have been pretty freaking ridiculous, and they are very, very well done. But, it's always a learning curve for everyone. And when you first time that you went into your vault and you started putting stuff down, I guarantee it wasn't God tier stuff either. So there's a learning curve. But one thing she did nail for sure is the decorating, the merging. There's no floating items, and it's a vault, yes, but still merging, lining everything up still takes some practice, and you got to be tedious with it. Put some care into what you're doing. But Matari, definitely one of my favorite people out there in the world. And yeah, very well done. Very well done. I like it. Now, we've got another one coming up here. And this is another one that I would like to do some sort of showcase on. She's a very, very talented creator. She has a very dark storytelling aspect to her. She's kind of like the Stephen King of Fallout. All of her videos are very musically based, okay? So she uses music to create that ambiance and to help tell the story. And clearly, she's a PC user. This is a mod that you can put on there, and your characters turn into skeletons. The way that she does her storytelling, and then the creative use of some of the mods for aesthetic purposes, it's very, very well done. Whenever Kashi puts something out, I'm one of the first people to go check out her videos. And this one's cute because it shows her using the mod with the skeletons and everything. What you're missing out on is the audio, though. Her audio is always, always on point with whatever story that she is trying to tell, and it creates that ambiance. So it's something that you definitely want to look into. I try to avoid copyright stuff for the most part because, in some countries, somebody might not be able to see my video because it's copyrighted there, but not here, and blah, blah, blah. Very well done, though. And if you're interested, you can look her up on YouTube. It's FO76 Kashi. It's Kashy. Go give her a like and a sub. And same thing with all these people. There are some creators that have shared some of their content and stuff like that. And I've went over there and literally they've had between 2 and 15 subs. If you're newer to this, and some of them surprisingly are not newer to this, and they have almost no subs, So you guys, you got to support the other people that you're interested in. Go over there, give them a like and a sub, and tell them, hey man, I'm here to help support you, and give you that like or whatever it may be. Be positive in the comments and give them a little support and love, because people put a lot of time and effort into this stuff, guys. I hate the aspect of where I have to say, okay, you're number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To me, I'm not somebody who does reach out for that self-validation, and some people are, and that's fine. But the main reason that I love doing this stuff is to get the exposure out there with the ideas. We're taking people's inner thoughts and the stuff that they've created and then pushing it out there to inspire you. It's the whole inspirational process is the main reason that I love doing this stuff. And especially with the new build system, it's going to be mainly based on your creativity. So, it's going to be interesting to judge some of that stuff, but I think it's going to be easier because, well, it's just about your creativity and not the technique. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. And remember, we are doing this in a 3-part series because we've had so many entries, okay? So for our custom and vaults category, though, in first place, We have Goldfinger with the submarine build. Excellent job with that. In second, we have Blow It Up Baza with the freighter ship. In third, Lana the Cat with the robot and the ship that interchanged with the two different camps. Fantastic job. I love that camp, you know? That's really, really good. In fourth, we have Zombie76, and that is Gapper's. And she had an amazing shop there. Very, very cool. I definitely like the idea of that. And last but not least, in fifth place, we have Takashi Yuka. So that is not the end of it, though, because we do have our honorable mentions, and we do have Matari Lingolian, Vibval, and Hexapotent. And ladies, gentlemen, I really do appreciate all your participation in this. This has taken a very, very long time to go through because we've had so many submissions. And, you know, part of it, it feels overwhelming when I look at it. And then the other part of it, it's just a complete honor that you guys are participating in this stuff. And I get to see and experience all these amazing builds. So I love you guys. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming up. Again, I'm just getting set back up on this PC. So we do have a lot more coming up, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.